welcome, podcast listeners. It is episode number 313 of the Fret Talk podcast. You are joined as a extension of last week's podcast by your host, Mr. BudgetPedalChap. You're also joined by, fresh off the end of a 2-hour conversation, Mr. Matt Caline. Hey, say hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
We're just gonna let you get into it here. We're gonna go in raw. What? Just enjoy the podcast.
Here's the rest of last week's shit show.
Yeah. This episode, of course, is sponsored by Affordaboard. Affordaboard, of course, bringing you pedals from companies such as DemonFX, JSA Effects, Mosky, Joyo, and Caline. They're a UK company with all UK stock ready to ship. Check them out at affordaboard.co.uk. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. Right, we've got some more topics, haven't we? We've got quite a few actually. Go on.
Well, like I say, I've linked them all to roughly to the gigs that I've done in the last couple of weeks. So I've mentioned in the pod already that I've got like a small board that I put together for this latest gig, and for the short one that I did before. I mentioned that one last week. And now I'm thinking about not bothering going back to the big board.
Oh.
Because it's just really convenient having like 5 pedals.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so like so I've got a tuner, 4 flavors of drive because I'm me. A reverb pedal that stays always on, and the amp, which I can just take off the board or even leave on the board, but just run out of the reverb pedal into the amp that I'll use on my gig on this weekend. And I'm almost certain that I will use that board and not my main board.
Okay, so look, in terms of that, you could get 6 pedals because you've got one where the amp goes. The
yeah, so I could change that out for a modulation pedal if I wanted.
Yeah,
but I can get away without modulation. Like modulation, like this is a separate topic. Modulation is overrated, but let's park that and go. Small boards, like, is less more is how I phrased it. Like, are you like you focus less on the jumping around, and actually I could probably get rid of one of the drive sounds and still be fine. So do I need to go smaller and just be an adult and have a 5 pedal board, a 4 pedal board? Is that the way to go? Is that the future of being an adult musician?
Yeah, so the older you get, the less gain that you use is pretty much is the way it goes. So a smaller board does make sense. I think I really do aspire to a very minimal pedal board, but in the band that I'm currently in, we do a song that requires the auto bar pedal. So it's only a one song, but if you don't use that, the song falls apart basically.
Yeah.
So it requires that. I need a tuner. I need my 2 flavors of drive. So that's 4. I need a boost for solos. Could I run just the 2 drives a bit hotter, roll it back with I could probably do that, couldn't I?
You could.
Yeah.
But it would involve changing how you play.
It would. I also run a compressor as always on. So that's 6 already. But I think that's it. I think that's all I ever use.
And you don't actually need the compressor always on, because on my main board I run a compressor always on, and I haven't done. I didn't do it the gig the weekend before, and that was through an amp, and I didn't even fucking notice.
I might try that. I might try my next gig. I'll just turn the compressor off and see if the magic's gone.
Bearing in mind, don't you run an always on Mojo?
I do, yeah.
So that's doing the job of the compressor anyway.
Well, it's adding some compression. The compressor is adding a little bit more compression.
Yeah, but just turn the drive up on the Mojo up another half a point.
Yeah, I could probably do it, yeah. So that's 5 now. I still need that pedal, the auto bar.
Yeah.
Wow. I could probably get rid of the boost. So I could run 4. Could run 4 pedals.
Yeah, and actually, like ridiculously, I was running tuner, which you need. Like, you've got to have a tuner pedal. Then I was running fuzz, so I don't need it, but I like to have a different flavor of loud drive sound. So I'm gonna always have a fuzz pedal. Then I had clean boost, which was my hot coals. The Messiah with 2 foot switches, which gives me 2 different drive sounds, and then the Antares, which is a non-clean boost. So I could get rid of either the hot coals or the Antares.
Yeah,
like I could.
Just run one boost rather than
one of them is a boost. Like if the hot coals into the front end of the Marshall will give me the extra drive. Sorry, into the front end of the Messiah would give me extra drive if I wanted it. So I could get rid of the Antares, or I could move the Antares to where that is and get a different flavor of. So I could, and if I ran the Vox instead of the Marshall, then I don't need the reverb pedal on the board anymore because there's reverb in the amp, and I'm just using the spring reverb sound. Why not just use the spring reverb in the amp?
Yeah.
Then I could add the Analog Men chorus, but like in the band that I'm gigging with this weekend and next weekend, I don't use the Octava, so I don't need that. I don't like the compressor. Like I say, I didn't even notice it wasn't on, so that's not going to make a difference. I don't use a chorus because we're not doing anything with chorusing in that band. I do use a phase on one song, but you can get away without it. Like no one's noticing if you don't put a phase pedal on when you're playing Chumbawamba. Yeah, I don't think anyone was going there. Actually, that tone wasn't quite as I remember. Yeah, because we play that at the end of the night and everyone's absolutely slaughtered so that they will sing along anyway. So
they won't be able to hear you over themselves.
And it's very much a very different situation to you having the auto wah pedal that makes the song. The phase pedal does not make the Chumbawamba song.
Yeah,
it's not like it's adding a little bit of texture. It's not adding the flavor of the song. I don't need. I suppose if we're doing Comfortably Numb, I do need delay. But I could drop the delay onto the board instead of the boost that I've taken off or the reverb. So I could go a smaller board again. Maybe I will because actually, like it weighs less. It's much easier to move about on stage if you need to at any point.
Yeah, it's much easier to place on stage as well.
Yeah,
because trying to find space for a board on stage where I'm not in the position where I'm going to hit the singer with my headstock.
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, I have to be right up front because I'm singing a few songs and backing vocals for a lot of the time I'm facing towards the singer so that I'm not hitting her.
Yeah. I'm lucky enough to stand the other side, so I'm standing on the left, so my headstock isn't going to hit anybody.
Yeah.
But still, like, I have to try and make space because in one band I stand next to the bass player and I don't want to get hit in the head by a bass player's headstock because and in the other band I stand next to the singer who's also a guitarist, so there's always a headstock. Like if I'm not going to be accidentally hitting somebody's going to be accidentally hitting me if I'm in the way, so you do have to find that space, and a 1-tier board is much easier to find space for than a 3-tier board.
Who'd have thunk it? Yeah.
Yes, and is this me growing up as a guitarist? Is this like you were saying? Is this using less gain as you mature as a player?
Yeah.
Is this what that's all about? Am I just being overly sensible? I mean, I'm sure I'll be back running the main board in 3 weeks anyway.
Yeah. I think. For the sake of like removing 2 pedals for me, I don't think it's really worth it.
Yeah.
Because what I'd lose is a boost, which I really kind of do use. I'd have to do it all on the controls of the guitar, and I don't think I want to. Because the main guitar is the Variax, and that's not quite as smooth a pot turn as other guitars, and I like it like that. Actually, I like the fact that it's really quite. It's quite really quite stiff, and the way you set it is where it stays.
Yeah.
I mean, I have got other guitars which turn a little bit easier, but I don't want to go down that route. I kind of just want to crank it all out, and that's it.
Yeah, and then tap dance to get you different sounds.
Yeah. I like it at my feet, because as much as I like entertaining my brain while I'm playing with like backing vocals and like playing the guitar, I don't want to then have to think about a third thing to do with the volume of the guitar, because we're going past that sweet spot of my brain is entertained into that point where my brain is overstimulated and I can't focus on the thing I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, because that's the other thing with ADHD. Once you overstimulate it, your brain is just going to shut down.
Yeah.
It's just going to go, no, I'm not doing any of it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're sat on the floor rocking back and forwards in front of your amp going, no.
Yeah, I missed the change. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
Yeah, I think, look, I've mentioned it a few times on the podcast, but Easy Lover is that song for me. Doing so many fucking things. So many. It's just like the riff's quite involved, as well as singing a high harmony to the... Like, I'm doing Phil Bailey, not Phil Collins. So I'm doing the high falsetto harmony. Oh, it's beautiful, but it's hard. It's really tough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky enough not to have any real, like, all the backing vocals I do in most bands is just the shouty bits of choruses.
Yeah.
Because I can sing if I can hear myself. I tend never to be able to hear my own vocals on any stage because I am not the main backing vocalist, which means monitors tend not to be pointed in my direction.
Yeah.
So, although I can hold a tune, like, I tend not to be able to hear myself. And if I can't hear myself, I definitely can't hold a tune. Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, I don't have any, like, the closest is in Rock and Roll Star where I come out. So I'm like playing a solo and start singing the chorus as I'm on the way out of the solo. And I have to take away my lead drive and start singing at the same time whilst moving from a solo position to open position to play chords. But I'm shouting tonight. It's a Rock and Roll Star. It's not like I'm. If I sing that slightly out of key, as long as I'm shouting it and have a bit of grit on my voice, no one's going to notice. There's four other people singing at the same time.
Yeah, you're not instrumental to the core of the song.
It's not like a 2-part vocal harmony where, like, if one of you is slightly out, everyone's going to know.
Yeah.
It's just there to add a bit of extra, like, extra oomph to the chorus. It's a rock.
Yeah, it's kind of a textual.
Yeah.
Yeah, a textual thing. Yeah. Well, I think we're on to the last one of the night, aren't we?
We are, and this was more of a thinking point. So, like, it's not really. Actually, I mean, it massively ties into the fact that we've been talking about ADHD all day. Because what I've said is, what keeps us playing guitar, and I've added the thing. I've given up every other hobby that I've ever had, but I've been playing guitar now for 17, 18 years. So something has got to keep me coming back to this that hasn't kept me coming back. Like, the only other thing that I can say really I can see a reason why I stopped was rugby, and that was because I kept blowing my knee out. And there's only so many times that you can, like, throw away relationships because you end up on crutches and arguing with people because they're waiting on your hand and foot and you're miserable. And, like, just extra damage that I'm doing to my body. I know that's why I don't play rugby anymore. But all of the other hobbies that I've ever had, I've either had massive times where I'm not doing them, like video games. I'll have a 6-month period or a 12-month period where I'm playing 4 or 5 or 6 video games, and then I'll not touch my Switch I got at Christmas. I played 4 or 5 games all the way through and haven't switched it on for 3 months. And like, I just, they just disappear from me. And like, I used to go fishing when I was a kid. Haven't fished in 10 years probably. Like, I've had loads of other hobbies, but guitar has been an absolute constant from my first ever guitar lesson.
Yeah, I think, from an early age, I was really really drawn to music, even if I weren't like necessarily particularly musical. Like I remember at my grandma's house there was an organ, and I would play it even though I didn't know shit about shit.
Yeah.
Like she had a few like organ books that like were really fucking simple and like had like the notes written on it, and I'd like figure out the tunes. Like really shitty like Christian songs like Michael, row your boat to shore and all that shit. So I learned shit like that. And then when I was in primary school I did brass instruments because like they went into a couple of classes and saw if people had the aptitude to be able to like blow a note out of the instrument, and I could do it. So they went, right, you're in. And I was like, yeah, cool. But like I played it as kind of an obligation, and it never really excited me. It never really clicked.
Yeah.
And then when I was in high school, I saw people playing guitar, and I was like, shit, that's what I want to do. Like that's like all of the cool thing of like getting to play music that I love to do, I was really drawn to, and it might actually get me laid. Like ain't nobody like walking into a room busting out a trumpet solo and going, yeah, like drop your kegs. Like, ain't no one doing that. But like you can ostensibly like get and it weren't necessarily about like only about getting pussy. It was about kind of finding my tribe.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's the kind of people I want to be around, like these interesting kind of people. It weren't just the kind of the vapid conversations of like, oh, did you watch the football? Yeah, the football. The guy who played the football scored the football goal.
Yeah.
And that kind of shit really, really grated me. It was just like, this is not me. This is not my tribe. This is not the people that I want to be around. And I saw the kind of mopey looking goths, and
that's for me.
Yeah, well, it was like that, and there was a bunch of like Kurt Cobain wannabes because it was like 10 years after like the whole Nirvana thing had happened, and people were like, look, it was almost like post ironic liking that shit, and I was like, those guys are really cool, and they're like, when you talk to them, they're really interesting, and they have opinions on stuff. They like some things and they don't like other things, and you're like, yeah, that seems really interesting. I'm going to go towards that. So I ended up picking up a guitar after I picked up my first job. Like I scraped enough money together. Me and my brother teamed together, and we were like, yeah, we'll play some guitar. And he's a flaky summer bitch who played it for like 5 minutes. Like, I'm not instantly great. This sucks. I'm off. And I like it hit all of the all of those lights started igniting for me. It was like, it's music. I love music. I love making sounds, and I love doing that thing. It's kind of cool, and it felt right as well. So I was like, yeah, I'll do this. And then like I got into bands. So the whole band thing was awesome. Like it was again like a big social thing, because I'd go out, we'd learn a bunch of songs. Like me and my friends would learn a bunch of songs, and then we'd butcher them at the local pub. But like we'd do it in front of people who probably shouldn't have been at that pub because they were a bit young, but no one gave a shit back then. And it was a case that we were the entertainment for the night. We were the rock stars. So in our own little bubble, we were the hub of why people were coming to the pub. And because of that, everyone would hang out at this pub, and we'd have like really great times. So that's kind of where it was for me, is that it was my entire social aspect.
Yeah, and that's how you got there. But what has kept you playing? So I imagine, knowing that you're slightly older than me, you've gone from like, I assume age like 15 to age 18 there, or maybe up to age 20 or something. But you're in your 30s now, and you're still playing guitar fairly regularly. Have you have you had any phases where you've not played guitar much at all, or have you like just always, it's kind of been a passion ever since then?
Yeah, no, it kind of, yeah. It's never really fallen out. So, like, I was playing in bands pretty much throughout my entire 20s. So that kept me playing.
Yeah.
And I'd do, like, little covers projects with friends as well. And then I got into the recording side of it. And I went to university to study music as well because it was just like, this shit's awesome. I'm going to see how far I can go along with it. And I got into the whole theory side of it as well. So all of those like different aspects of it really interested me. So I then
kind of
I just kind of started bringing all of those influences. So I got into the recording, the playing, and the just making music.
Yeah, it's like for me, like I started at 14, 15. I got a guitar. Instantly realised that I either needed lessons or I was never going to get it because I just my brain didn't work in a way that I could learn it from books or watching videos. So I said to my parents, "Look, I want to go for lessons." They're like, "Right, okay, well, we'll take you every other week for a while." And I ended up like I was still paying for those lessons by the time I'd left home. Like I just the guy that I went to very quickly realised I don't know whether like he did this with everybody, but he very quickly realised if he didn't get me playing along to a song that I knew immediately, I'd drop off it. And he was just like he went through a few songs. It was like do you know any of these songs? What's the kind of thing that you want to get playing? Got me playing versions of them with power chords in week one. And that was it. Like it wasn't a case of like here's an E chord, here's an A chord, here's a timing thing, learn your timing things, and then switch between these things. No, it was literally like, okay, here's 3 chords, this is this song, play along to it, and if you ever like find yourself struggling to change, just keep your right hand going at a steady rhythm, but just playing as long as you can then work out how to change between the chords, you'll play this song. And like got me immediately hooked. And then for the next 4 years until I was, well, probably not 4, actually, probably 2 or 3. It was enough going for those lessons that I was improving constantly, and that was giving me the reward in my head for then going home and playing along to stuff. And then I joined a band, and same as you, I've been in a band ever since. Like I joined one of the bands that I'm in now at 19, so I've always had a reason to kind of stick at it. Of there's other people that are relying on me.
Yeah.
But even then, like I've always from a very young age just been obsessed with music, and the music that I loved was either classical music or rock music.
Yeah.
And
classical music is fucking hard.
I hated classical guitar. I tried classical guitar as a 9-year-old. I went, nah.
Yeah. Because it starts off that bullshit way of like you've got to learn your rudiments first. So here's some chords. Oh, here's some chord shapes. No, fuck that. I want to learn a song.
Yeah, and there was never any of that. So like, I'd asked my parents when I got the guitar. I'd asked my parents for a keyboard for Christmas, and they gave me a guitar instead because they knew me better than I knew myself. Nice. But yeah, I'd always loved rock music, and just absolutely like obsessed over it for my teen years, which I think it got me to the point where I could join a band, and I think that was kind of the key for me. Like with all the other hobbies that I've got, nobody's relying on me for going fishing and dicking around outside. Nobody's relying on me for playing games because there were six or seven of us, isn't it? And like if you're playing online with people and there's 6 or 7 and suddenly there's 5 or 6, they tend not to care, like unless you're playing something specific. But we never were. We were just like playing in multiplayer lobbies on COD or playing FIFA or playing whatever. Like
those lobbies get filled up instantly anyway. Like it's no sweat off your back if your 5th member of your team isn't turning up. They're like, well, we'll get rando number 1.
Yeah, exactly. So like, there was never any. Whereas like with the guitar, if there was ever a time, and I can't actually remember if there has been, but if there's ever a time where like I wasn't really in the mood, it didn't really matter because I'll always say yes to a gig because I'm terrible for, if anybody asks me as long as I don't have something on a night and they say, can you do this thing? I will always say yes. It's why I end up doing fucking 4 jobs at one point. It's why it's how I ended up doing this podcast.
Yeah. Do you want to do this podcast, Matt? Yes. Do you really want to do it? No. But will you? Yes.
I mean, like this podcast, like absolutely love it. Like you were saying earlier, like,
yeah,
there were times where like I wasn't really free and like you couldn't get anyone else, so we'd find a time and it was a Sunday morning. You're like, oh, I've got to fucking literally immediately edit this, render it, and get it uploaded for the podcast in the morning. But like, yeah, I've always loved doing this podcast. But yeah, the guitar, it's always the one and only constant of my hobbies, and like,
yeah, it makes sense why the rugby thing as well was a constant.
Yeah,
because that's again a team of people that rely on you to be there week on week.
Yeah, and like I captained the side for a while, so like, and I also did some coaching as well. So like, yeah, I was always like had some sort of responsibility. So yeah, you're probably right there as well. But like, I was, let's say, not clever enough because it took me 3 goes of the same injury to stop. But
yeah, I mean, you notice that this keeps happening, and if it happens anymore, I will probably lose mobility, which is
I mean,
more important.
I'm already walking with a limp, so
yeah,
I probably need to stop at this point. Was kind of the feeling there, but yeah, I just wanted to like get that bit, like, because obviously I think in the early days of the podcast we might have discussed about how we were playing, but like both of us are not playing the same things we were 7 years ago. 6 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah, and largely a lot of my output now is towards the kind of demoing stuff, which keeps my hand in it. And I've stretched out a little bit more with that, with the more long form demos that I do, which allow me to like write and record tracks week on week, which again is like really fresh and exciting because I can't do the tracks exactly how they're supposed to be because YouTube gets angry. But also I kind of like having to come up with a pastiche around an idea. So I'll choose a song from a band. Like a couple of weeks back, I did one on the Yardbirds Stroll On. Sorry. So I had to write a riff that sounded a bit like that, but wasn't exactly like that.
Yeah.
And then record. It's only like a minute's worth of song. And I tend to like edit it down so that it ends up only being 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But I'll write a riff that works. It like works as a pastiche for that song. Then I'll have to play like one guitar part or the same guitar part twice to double track it to get it sound nice and thick.
Yeah.
And then I tend to have to write like a solo section for it as well and play the bass guitar for it as well. So that keeps it nice and fresh. I really enjoy doing that because that's the kind of stuff that I really enjoyed doing at university, was like tracking bands. like basically like tracking my own stuff.
Yeah.
And so that was really cool. Like the demo stuff as well means that I get to play about on guitar. It's really kind of free and creative.
Yeah.
There's no brief I have to stick to. It's just make these pedals sound good. So I basically just like use what I'm hearing to feel what I need to play.
Yeah, well, that's it. You're going to get a sound that sounds like a thing in your head, and then you use that to inspire you to play something broadly similar.
Yeah. So I follow my nose a little bit with that one. And sometimes it's not a case where I'll hear something, like I'll hear an artist and go, it sounds a bit like that. But I'll hear like a style that it sounds a bit like, and I'll go, I'll go down that route and I'll play some like crunchier stuff. I'll play some power chords because it's feeling heavier, or I'll play something floaty because it's feeling bluesy. So yeah, it is that. And then there's sometimes where it's like, well, this is a ring modulator and my guitar no longer sounds anywhere near where it should. Let's just try and hold on for dear life.
Yeah, I don't know what to do here, so let's just, that's the next note. Sure. Okay.
But yeah, I think like there's that. I think I tend to follow something when I do it as well. I'll follow along with it. So, like I tend to keep routines quite well. Like I ended up playing a bunch of online games on my phone where like it would reward you for logging in every day.
Yeah.
And I'd log in every day and do like the little tasks that require you to do that. And I know like that's the psychology of it. It makes you do that.
Yeah.
But I'm like really good at disciplining myself. Maybe I'm really gullible and could be disciplined into like repeating the same thing over and over again. But I've done that for a bunch of different things. Like I'm currently doing a bit of Duolingo, and I've done that like non-stop for a period of about 80 days or something like that. So I'm getting in that routine. And I think the same is with guitar. When I first started playing guitar, I had it in my mind that I've got to play guitar every day. So I did, even if it was a case of pick the guitar up, strum a few chords, and then that's it. But I'd find that if I picked the guitar up and strummed a few chords, I'd be like, this is cool, let's do a bit more.
Yeah.
And it ended up being more and more. So for the first like maybe 2 years, I played guitar every day.
Yeah. I was the same. Like when I first started, it was a case of, okay, these are the things that I learned in the lessons that I was doing, and I'd go home and I'd go through the like 5 or 10 minute routines that I'd been given to just try and remember for next time.
Yeah.
And then I'd go, well, let's listen to this song and see if I can pick it up by ear. Like I can't read. I didn't really pay attention to the theory because I couldn't. It doesn't interest me. And like,
yeah.
Do you know what? I find it absolutely fascinating when somebody talks through a song and why certain notes work together. But it goes in one ear and out the other, and like
if you're required to regurgitate that information,
yeah,
like, nope.
I just can't. Whereas like picking up a song by ear, I've like the fact that I could be taught how to do it, and I don't think really you are taught. I think you are shown that this is something you can do, and you can either pitch well or not.
Yeah,
and I was lucky enough that I can pitch. Like most of the songs that I learned for band, I might have to pull up a tab if it's quite complicated, but for the most part, I can tend to work out riffs, areas of like enough of a solo to get past it and chords and stuff.
Yeah,
by ear, and like the fact that I could do that, I found that fascinating, and that was enough to. When I wasn't playing this is what a minor pentatonic is, or here's a 5 chord, the pattern that you like will get you changing between majors and minors and sixths and sevenths, and
yeah,
like when I wasn't doing that, I was like putting on albums and going, okay, what's this riff, or what's this song, or how does this solo start, or what's the chords underneath this. And like that's what kept me interested in my early days, was the fact that I didn't need to just focus on what I'd been taught. I could go away and
you could expand
use those skills. Plus, and I didn't need the internet, because that was the other thing. When we first started, I was on dial-up. So if I wanted tabs, I had to go downstairs. I had to turn the computer on. I had to wait the 15 minutes that it takes for a fucking Windows XP computer to boot up. Then I had to ask my parents politely if I could use the internet for 10 minutes, make sure there weren't any phone calls planned, fucking connect to the internet, which takes another 3 minutes, then load up Ultimate Guitar, and then all the adverts would have to populate before you could search anything, and that would take another 10 minutes. And then so like tabs were never a thing for me until I was 18. So the fact that I could just pick things up by ear made it so much easier.
Yeah, it was necessity, but it also helped develop that where it become a useful skill as well. I mean, it's funny you mentioned that. I'm think back to when I first started, because we had broadband, because it was the mid 2000s, and that was kind of coming in. We started off with 56k, but by the time I started playing guitar, it was like our household had broadband, and most households around us did.
Yeah, most people around us did. We just didn't. Like, I was 17 when we got broadband, so that would have been 2007, 2006, 2006.
That's really late, though.
Yeah. We were way late to the party. Like, we didn't get it until I moved. So we moved house in the middle of my GCSE exams. That was fun. Yeah, my parents make me move house in May, the year I did my GCSEs. So that was fun. And then we waited a year before we got broadband.
It's horrendous. I mean, congratulations on passing those GCSEs, because you shouldn't have.
Oh, I was predicted. I mean, this is the same for all neurodivergent people. Like, I was predicted A stars across the board. I got like 2 A's, 6 B's, and 2 C's. So I passed them all. I got decent enough grades, but I didn't get anywhere near as well as I should. And part of that is my ADHD, and part of that was the fact that I fucking moved house after my 4th exam.
Yeah, that perhaps could have been planned a little bit better.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, it's not impacted on you so negatively.
No, it's not the end of the world.
No, I mean, the fact that you've got A's, B's, and C's, yes, still pretty much won. Like, you either win or you lose GCSEs, don't you? And you won, so we're okay. Yeah, no, same here. I managed to pretty much pass all mine. But yeah, like we had tab when I first started, and I think like the start of my journey was very similar to yours, but I didn't have a teacher. It was just a case of, like, I bought this Squire pack, and it had a little book with it that had a bunch of chords and then had power chord. So look, I went through the chords and could do the chord shapes, learn all of them, like the C, the G, the A, the D, the E. That's really cool. Learned the A and the E minor, A minor, E minor. And it didn't have minor versions for the other ones. Well, that's odd. Maybe those ones don't have minor versions. Who knows? But then at the back was the power chord, and then it taught you how to figure out which power chord was which. So this one's A power chord and that one's B power chord. And then I went online and was like, okay, let's search up some songs that are like wicked ass fucking songs. So I did like Paranoid and like Since You've Been Gone and all of these like really kind of simple riff songs. So within the first week of me playing guitar, I was like, I'd written down on scraps of paper, here's the sequence to do Since You've Been Gone, here's the sequence to do Paranoid. So I was just like riffing through those.
Yeah.
Like using this power chord technique. And I was like, well, shit, this is the best thing ever. Like, so I'd done almost what your guitar teacher had done for you, but I'd figured it out myself through this book. Like, it was like a really shitty like paperback, maybe about 15 pages at most. But it was that, look, here's the information that you need to be able to get you started on guitar. And it really fucking was. Like, hats off to the people at Squire back in like 2003, I think. They really nailed it. Like, you need to learn a couple of these chords. Brilliant. You need to learn a power chord and get yourself sorted. And I remember like the first gig I ever played, I think we played 3 songs, and one of them was like Summer of '69 maybe. And it had that, and that was like one of the chords that I learned in that fucking book. Like, way. Like, it was like suspending them, and I didn't know what the fuck suspending meant. But I went like, if I do that and I move this finger and that finger and this finger, it sounds like that. Yeah. That intro. But then like I moved on to doing like by ear stuff as well. I remember when I was about I was probably about 18-ish. Like, I was still part of this group that would play the pubs every weekend. And sometime during the week as well. And like the guy who ran the band, he sang and played guitar as well. It was just like, we're doing the final countdown. Let's learn it. Like, okay. So like, I downloaded the MP3 completely legally, of course. I downloaded the MP3. None of us had tabs for it, and I'd stopped over at his house, like a little low key house party. It was me, him, a couple of girls, like all good. And we were just chilling there and was just like, yeah, we've got to learn this song. We've got to figure it out. So I had this like little shitty MP3 player that had like an A/B loop function on it. And I'd just play through like the first bit and like playing along with my guitar unplugged. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, it's definitely this power chord. We'll do that. And dun, 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 dun. So we did that. We basically tabbed out the entire song by looping little sections of it. And then like learnt the riff as well. Because no one played keyboards in the band, but we had to fill in enough of the song that people would know what the fuck the song was. So
you can't do Final Countdown without the bloody riff, can you?
Yeah, I mean, it was tempting to pull out a kazoo and do it that way, but yeah. So we tabbed out. Like, it was mainly me, to be honest. He was trying to crack on with these girls. I probably should have done that as well, but we would have never got the song done. And we did end up putting it into the set, and I ended up learning the solo as well. I mean, it was a ropey version thereof. Yeah. Because I was like probably at this point 2 years into playing guitar. But I was the lead guitarist because he couldn't be asked to learn how to play lead. And I had a bit more time on my hands than he did. So, yeah. Again, through like the A/B loop of this. Okay, it's that bit. And then, so we ended up tabbing the entire Final Countdown. And I think, like, the question that it brought up in my mind is, like, how has the way that you learn songs changed from back in the day to now? Like, if you were to learn a song now for the band, if like the band says, okay, we're going to learn this tune, what would your process be now?
So I think over the years, I've had 4 processes. My initial process was put the CD on with the song on it on my CD player and just fuck around until I hit a note that was close to something and work from there, whether that was in the first riff of the song, whether that was in the 5th fucking chorus.
The Final Countdown technique, as we call it.
I'd find an area where I could start somewhere and then work back from it, because finding intervals is fairly easy, like in my head, for melodies and stuff. Like, if I can hit one note to start with or 2 notes, I don't even need to listen to the rest of the song to work the melody out, because the melody is stuck in my brain. The way my brain works, I have to be able to hum the melody, then play it on the guitar, whether that is a chord progression, whether that is like a riff, whether that is the solo. If I can't hum it in my head, so the things that I struggle with the most are quick licks in solos.
Yeah.
I can't get my head to slow them down enough to hum them in the right order for me to ever play note for note fast solos. I just can't. Like, we do Smoke on the Water in the band at the moment, and when I was coming to learn that, I did it a bit, like I say, listening. Then I got to a point where I couldn't work it out, and these days, rather than going for tabs, I go for YouTube videos, because you can watch somebody's hand move, and that's a bit easier than... I always found tabs when I moved to tab. Like, I started off by listening, then I started sitting down at a computer that did have broadband and using tabs, but it doesn't show your finger positions or anything. It's just a load of numbers. And
you've got to work that shit out yourself.
Yeah, you've got to work out the best way to get there. But yeah, and then I tried to do a hybrid where I'd listen and use the tabs. And now, like I say, I'll listen, and then if I really get stuck, I'll use a YouTube video.
Yeah.
But yeah, for things like Smoke on the Water and some of the riffs in, say, Comfortably Numb and stuff, some of the fast parts of the solo, I just won't play them note for note, because my head can't slow down. Even when they slow it down, it's not like I'm listening to the solo in my head and going, no, I can't hear how that translates 10 times faster to the noise that the solo makes. So I just I will improvise at that point. But for everything else, like for most of the stuff that we do in the band, for both bands, I learn it all by ear. I literally put Spotify on, put the song on repeat, and pick up the guitar. And usually within 3 listens, I've got the vast majority of what I need to do. If it's got a solo, obviously solos are a little bit more difficult. You've got to go over them a few times to get there. But for chord progressions and riffs and stuff, 2 or 3 listens is generally enough.
Yeah, so the solos, it's there tends to be like two sections of a solo, which are like the kind of the melodic outline to it, like the Smoke on the Water. You got the da 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 da. So that's the kind of melodic bit, and then you've got the wanky bit.
Yeah,
which, like yourself, it's too fast for the brain to process all of the notes. It ends up just being like a blanket of that kind of scale.
Yeah.
Rather than individual notes. So
literally, for me, the Smoke on the Water, you've got that bit there. Improv.
Yeah.
Improv. And then that little bit at the end.
Yeah, because those are all the melodic bits. Those are all the bits, the kind of the bits of substance, and then the wanky bits. Again,
just improv it.
It's just like a feel, it gives you the feel of the tonality of that scale, doesn't it? It's going by so fast that the notes don't actually, the individual notes don't make any difference.
Yeah.
I get that. I get that. I'm like really similar to yourself these days, where if I have to learn a song, the best way that I can do it is by listening to it. In fact, I do a lot of my learning before actually picking up the guitar to play it. I'll put it on in my car so I know the structure of it.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I have to know the song. Like, if somebody goes, learn this song by Bruno Mars, great. That's all I'm listening to for today then, because I'm fucked it. Like, I cannot not know the structure of a song and try and learn it, because I'll just get distracted. And I can't, I have to. I've always been that way, and I'm always the guy when we come to rehearsals. If we ever get lost, I'm always the first one to go, this is the next bit, because I've obsessively listened to that song until I know it.
Yeah. And I get to a point where I'm intrinsic with it. I don't have to think about the structure. Like, my body takes over to know the next bit. It knows exactly where I'm going next.
And there's a couple of songs that I can't listen to because the bands that I play in don't play them
the wrong way.
Don't play them like they are on the record, and that's fine. Like, we do our own. So, like, Champagne Supernova, we end the night in one of the bands with Champagne Supernova, because it's really easy for piss people to sing along to, and everybody fucking loves Oasis at the end of the night, like, whether you like it or not. But we play a hybrid Glastonbury version that Noel Gallagher did, I think, where he started out it starts out as just a piano and vocals. And then the guitar comes, and then the guitar comes in and it fades up and it kind of really builds. And it's great for the end of a night, because you can start with just a room of pissed people singing to a piano. Our singer can go around the band and we'll all do a little, the bass player will do a run. I'll do a little bit of lead. Drummer can do a bit of fills and stuff. So we can get we kind of go around the band like that, and then. Yeah, it builds and builds and builds to a crescendo, and then just ends with the kind of end of the song sort of guitar solo-y bit where it's really, really loud, and then we kind of fade all the way out, do the last chorus, but I can't listen to that song now on that record, and I actually quite like Oasis. Like, as much as people shit on them, I quite like Oasis. I grew up liking Oasis, and I live my life in nostalgia, so I still like Oasis. But I can't listen to that song unless I'm doing something else, because I will then think about that the next time we're playing it, and we play it so differently. We play it so differently. Like, there's breaks where we don't take them. There's no breaks where we put them. Just I have to have the version that we play in the band in my head, and it comes to that when we have a depth drummer for the band that I've been in for 10 years. And he doesn't put accents in certain places where our drummer does. And don't get me wrong, the guy that we get to come in depth is a really good drummer. I think a really good drummer. Yeah. But it's not identical to what we play in the other 25 gigs that we do in a year, the 5 gigs that we play with him.
Yeah.
And it's just so off-putting. Like, and it's no, like I say, it's not it's to no fault of his, because we don't practice. We bring in a dep and don't bother with the practice, and he just rocks up to a gig and does the gig with us.
Yeah.
And you know, that's incredible, the fact that he can do that. But
yeah, absolutely.
I'm waiting for crash cymbals that never come, or I'm waiting for a fill that isn't there, or like little bits and bobs where we've got so bored of playing songs where like there's extra stabs and then there's a gap, and then we kind of like all come out and then all come back in at the same time, and he because we don't practice with him, he doesn't know that.
Yeah. It's we had that at our last gig where we had to use a dep drummer. I mean, we've been for a few drummers, but we used a dep drummer, and you know, he was solid, but he weren't like our drummer's pretty fucking shit hot, and he was just not quite doing the things, and it's enough to throw you off, even though it shouldn't be. Like the song is continuing how it should. You're like, okay, we're doing the same thing, but it's enough that there's an itch in the back of your brain where it's like, oh, something's changed, and that's enough to snap your concentration from where it should be to that thing that's behind you that's gone not quite right. Like, fuck. Fuck.
Yeah, but in terms of like learning stuff, like I've always tried to use my ear, because that's what my guitar teacher told me was the best way to do it if you can. And he's right, because I don't finger a lot of solos the way that the original guitarist did. But it also means that I can make every solo in minor pentatonic and not have to be a good guitarist, because I might start with my finger on the fourth note of the minor pentatonic instead of starting in Phrygian or whatever the fourth note of minor pentatonic. I just fucking mixolydian is what I don't know.
I don't. It doesn't quite work like that for the pentatonic, because it's missing.
Because you're missing notes. But
if you're the fourth note of the minor scale, that would be
that's seventh note, right? Isn't it? Of the actual minor scale, which would be the second note of the major scale.
What, the seventh note of the minor scale would be?
Fourth note. So 1, 2. Sorry, no, it's not. It's the fifth, isn't it? It's the fifth note of the the fourth note of the minor pentatonic is the fifth note of the natural minor scale. Yeah.
It'd be So you'd be starting on the fifth, which would be quite a mixolydian based.
But obviously you're missing.
If you're minor though, because that's the fifth note.
No,
because
it's not it's not the fifth mode. It's the fifth note of the
minor scale.
Fifth mode, which makes it the third.
Yeah, so that'd be Phrygian.
No, it's not. It's the seventh, isn't it? It's the major seventh.
No, it'd be Phrygian. It'd be the fifth of the minor. I mean, we're getting to bullshit point in the podcast here where we're.
Well, the fifth of the minor is the seventh of the major, right?
No, the minor's the sixth of the major.
Sixth. Okay.
So you go from minor, you go in. So minor is Aeolian, Locrian, Ionian, which is major.
Yeah.
That's third. Fourth is Dorian. Fifth is Phrygian.
Okay.
Yay! That's music theory.
You know, like I say, for all of it and to be fair, I say pentatonic, and I don't ever use the pentatonic. I always tend to use the natural minor, like the Aeolian. Because I can play more than four notes. I am capable, and I do know it in enough inversions, and I don't just know box shapes. I can link them together without jumping 5 frets and things like that. So there is more in there than I let on that I know about.
Than you're giving yourself credit for.
Yeah, but I can't. I never understood the point of Mixolydian and Phrygian and Locrian and Dorian, because I was like, okay, but I know this shape and I know how they link together, which means I can just start on the fourth note and then link it through and end on the fourth note if I need to, an octave up or on the same octave, or resolve it anywhere I need to from that shape. So I am playing these other shapes, just not in the right way.
Your brain's not thinking about it as I'm playing Dorian, but you are playing like you're playing a minor scale, but then starting on the
I'm resolving to whatever the note needs to be resolved to using my ear, which doesn't have to be the root of the minor scale, but I'm not using the same kind of like the 1 2 4 1 2 4 1 3 or whatever whatever of the scales that is. I would just play that in the minor shape and just start on my third finger instead or whatever. I just never kind of, and like I say, I can link them together without just playing in a box up and down and then shifting a position and starting a new box. Like I can link the notes together, so I guess my fretboard knowledge is fairly good. I just couldn't tell you what any of the notes that I'm playing is.
Isn't that telling you that you're not a fraud when it comes to this?
Yeah, like as much I'm talking through now and going, actually, I'm not as much of a fraud as I thought I was, but like I always feel like a fraud because
it doesn't help you at all, does it?
Like I'm always like in a box of something by the end of wherever I've moved to, so I always feel like I'm just playing in a box shape, and it doesn't matter that I've started on the 3rd fret and managed to make it to the 15th without just jumping 5 frets.
Yeah. And that concludes the second part of the double whammy episode of this Fret Talk podcast. Whoa, what a just chunky boy. I'm going to give a shout out to our sponsor, Affordable, for the most affordable guitar pedals on the internet ever. That is irrefutable. It's definitely a fact. Find him at affordable.co.uk. Check his stuff out. Again, mentions that he does international shipping. If you just send him a message, it'll work that out for you. If you want to find me online, no, we've got Patreon backers before that. Shit.
Yes.
Anyone would think I'm trying to record 2 of these in one go. So we've got our Patreon backers. I'm extending a thank you to you guys for as little as $2 a month. Only $2 a month. You can be part of that Patreon crew. You get a shout out on the podcast, and you get over 40 hours of. I said 40 hours. It's not 40 hours. It's 40 episodes. They're about half an hour each of extra special Patreon content. And it tends to be stuff that we can't necessarily speak so openly on about the podcast, like on the podcast. So it's a little bit spicy. It's Fret Talk with added spice. So $2 a month, that's all it costs. And our Patreon backers are as follows. We've got Mr. Andrew Bimpson of the Rising of the Light. I've done this in the wrong order. Mr. Andrew Bimpson of the Rising of the Lights. We've got Mr. Adam Yeomans of Chef Tone Effects. We've got Mr. Doug Christ of 37 Effects, of Masters in the Cinematic Universe, and the Just Surprise Me podcast. We've got our 2 best buds who take it from both sides. It's got Mr. Hugh G. Rection and Mr. Mike Oxlong. Just a double whammy, like a pincer movement from those boys. Yeah.
An Eiffel Tower, if you will.
Indeed. It's an awful tower is what it is. We've got Mr. Ben Fletcher of Fletcher Pickups. We've got Mr. Brian Gare of the Tone Jerks podcast, of the Second Button podcast, and the Just Surprise Me podcast. No, he's not. The Off the Rails podcast. Oh my God, it's getting really sorry. We've got Mr. Ross Philpott. We've got Mr. Diabetes Foot, and we've got our new Patreon backer, Mr. Jason Morton. Check out his YouTube channel. I think it's just Jason Morton. I will research this for our next podcast, which I'll probably be recording tomorrow. If you want to find me online, I'm Mr. BudgetPedalChap. You find me at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Threads. What? Threads? You can find so that the YouTube is the home to the No Talk Tone series, which pardon me, which I think is either the Overdrive preamp or the King Fuzz, Big Fuzz King Fuzz by Mosky. It's definitely one of those.
King.
Yeah, two of those words put into a thing. It's kind of cool. Yeah, check it out. Matt,
Cool.
Where can we find you online?
Yeah, I am at heel_MattQ on. I nearly said Facebook. Then I'm definitely not at heel_MattQ. I'm heel_MattQ on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. Why are we doing this twice? It's so confusing.
It really is, isn't it? It's thrown me. I mean, you can tell it thrown me.
We both just said the same thing and been absolutely fine. Say it again, and we're completely fucked.
Yep. Yeah, we'll never.
Why
do
is
this.
that a thing?
Really hard.
Oh dear, yeah, and yeah, Facebook. Just find us in the Fret Talk podcast group, and one of us will authorize you into the chat, unless your account is a day old, in which case I'll fuck you off.
Exactly. Yeah. So, from myself, Mr. BudgetPedalChap, from Mr. Matt Quay, it will be a tatty bye and good night for this week. Right, a bit.
Bye. What is 6.9? It's a good thing ruined by a period.
I saw this one this week, and it's very good, very good.